Hey y'all, welcome to Friday's Kitchen. Welcome back if you have been here before. In today's video, we are making a pecan caramel cinnamon roll cream cheese pound cake. If you guys are interested in seeing how I made it, stay tuned. Also, while you're here, I ask that you please take a moment, look down below, press that subscribe button, join our family, come back for some more recipes, and please don't forget to hit that like button before you leave. Without further ado, let's get into today's video. Over all of the ingredients, but the full recipe will be down below in the description box, and our oven has been preheated to 300 degrees. Here we have 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt, 3 cups of granulated sugar, 6 eggs at room temperature, 3 sticks of unsalted butter at room temperature, an 8-ounce package of cream cheese at room temperature. Here we have our cinnamon sugar mixture. We have 1/3 cup of light brown sugar, 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, and we will be using 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. So let me grab the mixer and we can go ahead and get started. So in our mixer bowl, we have the cream cheese and the butter. I'm gonna turn the mixer on, get this started, and then we're gonna add the granulated sugar. Once I add the granulated sugar, I'm gonna let the mixer run anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes until the mixture becomes nice and fluffy and it lightens in color. Okay, so now that our mixture is nice and fluffy, we're gonna go in and add our eggs one at a time. Once I add an egg, I like to wait for the yolk to break before adding the next, and then we're gonna go in with the vanilla extract. So now I'm going to scrape down the sides and bottom of the bowl, turn the mixer back on, and then I'm going to gradually add the flour mixture. All right, so I'm going to scrape down the sides and bottom of the bowl one more time just to make sure everything gets well combined. Then I'm going to turn the mixer back on for a minute, and then our cake batter will be ready. All right, so our cake batter is ready. Let me go ahead, remove the bowl from the mixer, set this to the side, and then I'll be back with the cake pan. So this is the pan we're going to use to bake the cake. I'm going to start by spraying with Pam baking spray. Now because I am using a cinnamon sugar with this cake, I have had issues sometimes with it sticking, so just as a safety precaution, I'm also going to use parchment paper for this cake. So here I have a piece that I have cut out for this pan. I'm just going to place inside, and then I'm just going to take a strip to wrap around the sides as well. It may be a little overkill, but I don't feel like wasting ingredients today. So I'm going to do what I know will work and keep this cake from sticking to the pan. And here's just a strip. Probably gonna have to tear another piece for the other side. And it's sticking to the pan because of the Pam. You can see it here. So I'm just gonna get another piece for this side over here. One more quick little spray. Again, probably overkill, but that's just what I'm doing. So now I'm gonna go in and add the cake batter. So here we have our brown sugar cinnamon mixture. I'm just gonna go through and sprinkle some in the center all the way around. Now I'm going to take this wooden skewer and I'm just going to go through and kind of make a swirling motion just to bring some of this cinnamon sugar into the cake batter. What's on the top will end up sinking into the cake anyway, a majority of it. All right, y'all, so again, our oven has been preheated to 300 degrees. This will bake for about an hour and a half. If I need to adjust that time, I will, but as always, I'll let you guys know exactly how long it takes in my oven when I remove it. So I'll see you guys soon. So here's the cake after 1 hour, 30 minutes in the oven. Y'all, it smells so good. We're gonna let it hang out in the pan for about 10 minutes and then we'll be back to turn it out onto a plate. Here's a close-up of the cake right out of the pan. We're gonna set this aside to cool. In the meantime, we're gonna go ahead and get started on our cinnamon rolls and our glaze. So we're gonna be using these Pillsbury flaky cinnamon rolls, the Cinnabon. I'm gonna go ahead and open these and place them into the dish. According to the instructions on the package, the oven has been preheated to 375 degrees and this will bake anywhere from 12 to 14 minutes. I am going to add a little heavy whipping cream to the dish before placing it into the oven though. Now I'm going to cover the dish with foil and place it into the oven. Up next, we're going to go ahead and get started on our vanilla glaze. Here's the icing that came with the package of cinnamon rolls. I'm just going to sit this on top of the stove as the cinnamon rolls bake so it can warm and soften a bit. So here we have 1.5 cups of powdered sugar. To this, I'm going to add a splash of vanilla extract. And then I'm going to go in with heavy whipping cream. I'm going to add until I reach my desired consistency. I want this to be somewhere in the middle, not too thick, not too thin. So I'm going to gradually add until I get it the way that I want it. So this is about the consistency I want it. I want it a little thinner, but I'm just gonna sit this on the stove while the cinnamon rolls bake. That will warm it up just a bit and thin it out a bit. So I will see you guys when it's time to take the cinnamon rolls out of the oven. So here are the cinnamon rolls out of the oven. I left them in the oven for 14 minutes, then I removed the foil, and then I put them back in for another 7 minutes. So we're gonna set these aside, let them completely cool, and once the cake is completely cool, we'll be back to assemble the entire. So a couple things that you'll need to finish the cake that I have not mentioned yet. First, you're gonna need some chopped pecans. And you're also going to need some caramel. I'm using this Mrs. Richardson's caramel. I will link it down below in the description box. I'll also link my recipe for caramel sauce if you want to make it from scratch. I already had this, so I didn't bother going through the trouble of making it from scratch. So now we are going to start by glazing the cake with the vanilla glaze we made. You can see it is a little looser than it was before because again I had this sitting on the stove, so the heat from the oven kind of softened it a bit so it's a little easier to pour. So now that we have the glaze on, we're now going to top with cinnamon rolls. Here I have one. I'm just going to sit it right on top. Here we have the icing that actually came with the cinnamon rolls. I'm just going to put some on top. Now we're going to take some of our chopped pecans and sprinkle on top. Now we're going to take our caramel and drizzle on top. All right, y'all, so give me just a minute to clean up my mess, and then I'll bring you in for a closer shot, and then we'll cut the cake so you can see what the inside looks like. We have made it to the end of the video. Here we have our finished product, our pecan caramel cinnamon roll cream cheese pound cake. That is a mouthful. I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. If you have any questions about anything I've done, leave them down below in the comment section. Guys, this cake is absolutely delicious. 10 out of 10. Highly recommend. If you're a fan of cinnamon rolls, you will love this cake. It tastes like a cinnamon roll through and through. So again, I highly recommend you guys give this recipe a try if this is your thing. While you're here, I hope that you guys take a moment, look down below, press that subscribe button. If you enjoyed today's video, please don't forget to give it a huge thumbs up before you leave. I would greatly appreciate it. As always, I thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.